Good morning. So Mitch has gone to the lot. I'm staying here because I need to do some rehab in the morning and because I also sleep in. So a quick recap of the last few days we've been here. Mitch has been working a lot on the temporary power so that we can have power and we don't need generators once we come around to building the building eventually. And that has gone pretty good. He now has to figure out who he needs to call to inspect it because it's not an electric permit, it's a temporary electric. So it's a little unclear how to get that. Like we cannot find it anywhere on the county website, so we're working on that. And then last night we started working on the building. Squaring off the building turned out to be way harder than I ever expected. I did not think that was going to be this like super time consuming process. I was wrong. Unfortunately, last summer Mitch ran over a much better transit that we had, so now we're borrowing that one from his dad. I do think it's partly the machine, but I know nothing. I've never used the previous one, so I don't know. And then we started digging, and that also didn't go great. We hit a rock. Mitch thinks he can just kind of like keep working on it and slowly chip it off, but he worked on it for a lot of hours last night and it didn't budge so much. I think there's gonna be a lot of days of digging and like chipping on the rock and maybe other rocks. The back side of the building, the very beginning, we knew because we have hit rock there to begin with when we had dug down to that point. So we kind of expected it. I didn't expect it would be so hard to do. So he's coming to pick me up now and we'll see how this is going. What happened? What happened here?
My wife broke my bucket. A little carried away on the rock.
And then what happened?
And now I need
The bucket came into the excavator. The bolts broke. So we had a second set. Because apparently we were expecting that to happen. Have dug deep enough, almost the entire one side, which we knew would be the hardest one anyways. All this is loose rock now. We think we're all the way fine here, except this part. This is a big rock. So I think what we're gonna end up doing is start digging the other sides that we expect will be much easier since they're mostly fill, and probably come back with a jackhammer for this. Okay, so we put the excavator back together. Mitch tried to chip the rock a little more. It is almost out of the way. Almost.
Alright, about 4 more hours of digging. We've hit that big rock here, Kat showed you earlier. Shouldn't be too big of a deal. I mean, we can chip it away if we have to. Everything else dug pretty good. And then we got to this long side here. And we've got another rock here. Well, the whole thing is a rock. But we've got about 15-20 feet of rock to chip away. Maybe I'll go try and find some rock teeth for the excavator, some sharper ones. Maybe it'll help. Everything else is pretty good though. Got about 100 foot, 110 foot dug there. Let's see. Get this. Sorry, my filming is not so good. Getting there. A little curvy, I'll have to straighten it out, but with the rock it just pushes the bucket wherever it wants, so we'll get it.
So there has been a little bit of progress with our dig. We have started digging the backside and it should get easier and easier on the backside, but we have been hitting, there's three big pieces of rock that we just cannot do anything about with the excavator. So today Mitch decided he was gonna go down to the big city and get some bigger sharper excavator teeth. Hopefully those will help us dig through the rock. So that's actually what's coming up next, and hopefully that will help the whole dig go a little quicker.
Alright, I just got the old teeth beat out of here. I was gonna film it, but it was a lot harder than I thought. They have these pins that go in them and the pins have to break to get the teeth out, but these old flat, they were actually pretty sharp, but not the best for digging rock. So I'll show you what we got now. Put on there, I think it's gonna help quite a bit. I just hope they don't break in the rock. They're the only ones the place had, so we just got to test it out. So now we'll go with these. We've got 4 of these, so it will be 8 total teeth. These are the pins that go in there, and this little piece has to break off to get the pin out of there. So they beat out really hard. It probably took me about an hour to get the 4 out, but hopefully now this is gonna help dig a rock a lot better. We'll see.
So today Mitch went down to the big city and got one thing that we needed for the electric, I don't remember what it was, and new teeth for the excavator that can dig better through the rock. And he came back, and apparently it was a disaster to take the old teeth off. He said it took him like an hour for one tooth, but he finally got them on, and we've dug now all the rocky pieces. He said they dug away like they were sand. Here, let me show you the other one on this side too. There is just no rock anymore. Everything is quite overdug, in fact. And I kind of wish we had gotten those teeth earlier, but at least we have them now for the house.
Alright, we got about half of the building dug. The footers I got dug this morning. I overdug everything just because with the rock it pushes the bucket so much you can't really dig a straight line, so I just have to over dig, and I will backfill and just pack it with a jackhammer or a jumping jack, whatever you want to call them. So each one of these is about 42 by 44 supposed to be, and I dug them about 5.5 foot by 5.5 foot. Just give me some extra space to work with, that way it's easy to form, get everything done. Otherwise I'd be fighting the rock the whole time and trying to move little pieces of rock. It's easier just to over dig it, I think, with this mess. So we're getting pretty close. I'm pretty happy with how it's going. We got 2 more sides to do, and then we're ready to start squaring up some footings and get them down in there.
A summer wind, a peace of mind, the birds that sing, the undefined, the ground beneath, the stars above.
I hate this thing. My whole body vibrates for 3 days after this.
So we shot everything to level it, and actually, to our surprise, everything was pretty close, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty good. I didn't level it as I was digging, which normally you kind of would do, but with only one person being here and you can't follow with a level, and I ran over our electronic level. So
Last year.
I just marked the bucket to a grade, and we knew this was pretty flat because we had leveled it before. So we just dug to about the mark on the bucket, and everything is really pretty close. So We
So-
shot it again, made sure it was close, and then I'm gonna pack it, and then we'll go back over and make sure everything is right on. We need to be pretty close for the form, so.
Yeah, so you've packed these two already. You can see they're way better. This one I think was actually our deepest hole, so I had to drop a little bit of dirt with the excavator, but honestly it was just like half a bucket. We're gonna have to reshoot them and make sure they're okay now, but they were all so close that we think it'll be okay. Yeah, almost halfway done. This is our 4th day of digging, I think, and we are almost done. Mitch is doing the last short side of the building, and you can see behind me he's dug all the different pads. There's 4 on each side, and we're halfway done with the last side of the building.
We've got the professional leveler runner out there, running grade. How is it, honey? Cold. Always cold.
Everybody wanna sing, sing, sing. You're a winner when you sing, sing, sing. I've got a song, you hum along, and we have fun, fun, fun when we're moving to the beat.
Is this the best side?
Yeah. Now imagine how it is to build a house in a normal environment.
No rocks here, huh? There's just like 20 feet left.
This kind of song makes you belong to something greater, something that makes you wanna sing.
We dug everything, and now we're at the point where we need to build these boxes with the, I think they're called 2x6s, these forms for the footings. And since all of our tools are in Ohio and it's not ideal to drive 30 hours to Sterling and 3 hours back to use Mitch's tools or Mitch's dad's tools, we are going to ask the owner of our Airbnb if we can use his tools. Don't think we need very much, we just need a saw, which we know he has, to just cut the 2x6s so that we can build the boxes the right size. I don't see an issue with it. So Mitch has already actually gone down there to ask him if he can use the saw, and I'm gonna go down there and play with the goats because they have pet goats while Mitch is working.
They've got a song, they hum along, and they have fun, fun, fun when they're moving to the beats, and it gets you in a dancing flow, and moving gets so easy, feeling easy to me, and it makes you kicking upward slow, and living gets so easy, easy, and again and again and again and again and again and again I play it on. Sing, 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 you gotta sing to believe it, sing to believe it, yeah, 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 yeah. Sing, 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 if you can sing it.
What are you working on? Huh. You like my shoes? Are you a fan of Nike?
Get up, just go for the top.
Hey guys, we're just here trying to get all the rebar cut for the building foundation. We've got 8 big pilasters and some grade beams and some footings. We're gonna try and get the footings poured. I don't know, it's pretty cold, we'll see, but try to get all the rebar cut anyway, and some of it bent up. We got some number 5 rebar, which is 5/8 rebar, and we're just cutting it with a torch for speed. It's going pretty well so far. We'll see once we come to bending it and get it hauled up to the mountain, see what happens. Try to do as much as we can away from the mountain since everything up there is a little bit harder to get to, harder to use, fire risk.
Okay, so we've missed a little bit of the process here. The other day when I was playing with the goats, Mitch cut these forms and all the side is ready with tied rebar. It looks nice and easy now, but I'm pretty sure he worked for like 20 hours yesterday to get this done. All the side is nice and done, level and square, and we're working on the other side now. I am doing my first ever job of tying rebar. Just the bottom part though. I don't think I can do the top one, the one sticking out. All these boxes are level and square too, and we've tied the bottom rebar so far, except for this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. And one box left there. Okay, the next job is to put these little rebar stools underneath the rebar. I've done it already in the first two. See, he's floating in the air. What is the name for the rebar stools? Oh, I was close. There. And there. It's 1:05. We have finished all the long side. We have finished the short side, 2 boxes of this long side, and we are now on the third box. The engineer is supposed to come at 3, and the inspector was supposed to come with the engineer at 3, and he decided that it was better to come at 9 a.m. instead, and that didn't work out. So we're probably only getting the engineer stamp today and no signature from the inspector, but I think we're just gonna be excited to have them all done by today. Definitely we'll have 2 more done by the time the engineer comes. I think we can get it all done. 2 more hours.
I think so.
Let's just hope the other inspector for the temporary power doesn't come and interrupt us halfway.
Are you feeling my pain now?
We're gonna be like, sorry, we're busy.
I really don't care about that.
Yeah. Maybe he doesn't even need us to be there if there's nothing that we need him to sign.
No, it's just a little better, like, when they come, if you can bullshit with them a little bit, and like, they're a lot nicer. Like, if he sees one little thing that's wrong and you're not there, he's just gonna, like, not pass it. But if you're there, maybe he'll just say, just move this wire to here.
Ready? It is 2:50 now. The engineer is supposed to come at 3. We have everything done. Everything all the way around except for that one last smaller one. It takes us about 10 minutes to put the rebar once it's set. So we're just hoping the engineer runs on Greek Standard Time. And also it's hard to find this lot, so I think that's a good thing.
Just go for
I don't think the inspector will show up. We did get yelled at for not having our number, like address number, out on the driveway. We do have it now. I mean, it was pretty early in the morning. Do you think he would have come before like 9?
I wouldn't have thought so. I mean, I've had it up there from probably 10 on.
No, you had it before I came with Jill.
Yeah.
And I think I came around 9:30. Running out of juice.
I'm ready for a margarita. Oh, he's pulling in.
He's pulling in?
Yep.
We just finished. And we should sit on the car and be upset that we've been waiting for him for 5 minutes.
We won!
Wait, what happened, honey?
We won! We only have one though, because the county still has to come back since he came at 8 in the morning instead of 3 in the afternoon like he was
So
supposed to.
we had scheduled 2 inspectors today. One to come in the morning to check the temporary power, who never showed up. It's almost 4 now. And the other to come at 3 p.m. because he wanted to be here when the engineer was here. That came 7 hours earlier. Should I say the name of the county for people to avoid it?
Alright, we're about to pour today. We had about 8 inches of water. You can kind of see on that board the line. Let me turn this around. Had to run and get a little pump. We had about 8 inches of water when I came back, but we got it all done. Mud is coming this afternoon. Should be good. Honey, it's here. We made it around the corner. Alright guys, sorry I didn't get much filming done while we were pouring. It was just trying to get it done. Worked out well, we didn't have any blowouts. Got all the caps on. We didn't float it very good just because it's just a footing that a big grade beam will go on, so as long as it's flat and level. We had about 8 inches of water in the front wall and a little more in each of these, but now that we've got this done, should go pretty fast. 7.5 yards of concrete. The truck driver, you see how high onto the hill he drove, like around this corner. He was a fearless man in a giant cement truck.
Just got off the phone with Mitch, who is in Denver, and he said that everything went really good with pouring the footings, and there were no, what was the word he used? Spilling, I guess. Anyway, everything were good. The footings are finally there. He's coming back to Ohio tomorrow. We have less than 2 weeks to move the whole house, and we have been packing. We've been packing for months now, actually. But there's a lot of things. There's a lot of boxes. We don't have so many furniture, but all the furniture we have is really big, so hopefully we'll find somebody to help us. We have already rented a storage unit. We're not sure if everything's going to fit in the one storage unit. But the good news is the footings are in. Mitch is coming back to Ohio to meet me, and we have some very different type of work ahead of us. And after that, we're gonna fly to the first competition in Doha.